This is exclusive. Tonight we get you that exclusive interview with Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde as he is on his visit to Ayodhya, where he says that this visit is not a visit of a politician but that of a Ram Bhakt. We'll get you all this and much more in this edition of This is Exclusive. But up first, these are the headlines we're tracking for you at this hour.
विश्वास था कि एक दिन राम लल्ला का भव्य मंदिर बनेगा ये आत्मविश्वास था।
Maharashtra Chief Minister Shinde and his Sena in Ayodhya. Exclusive interview with the newsmaker on Republic.
मैं मुख्यमंत्री के हैसियत से आया ही नहीं, मैं राम भक्त के हैसियत से आया हूँ यहाँ पर। मेरे चलने में बोलने में कोई मुख्यमंत्री जैसे मैंने बर्ताव किया ही नहीं, क्योंकि मैं राम भक्त के हैसियत से आया हूँ।
Shinde tells Republic have not come as a politician but as a Ram Bhakt in Ayodhya.
और ये सब लोग जानते हैं, सभी लोग समझते हैं, जो आरोप करने वालों को भी जानते हैं, काम करने वालों को भी जानते हैं। इसलिए घोड़ा मैदान नज़दीक है, लोग बराबर समझते हैं, बराबर सही वक्त पे सही जवाब भी देते हैं।
In a stern message to the political rivals, Eknath Shinde says people will respond at the right time. Battle for Karnataka heats up. BJP CEC meet to begin shortly at the party headquarters in Delhi. Candidates to be finalized. Prime Minister on a blitzkrieg visit to South India, visits Madhubalai Reserve, takes jungle safari. Latest now pictures now coming in from the BJP headquarters where Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived. The CEC pertaining to the Karnataka elections would begin any time now. BJP President JP Nadda receiving Prime Minister Modi. A short while back, Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai as well as BS Yediyurappa had already come for the CEC meeting. We'll try and go across to my colleague Harsha, who's going to be joining us on this broadcast, getting us the latest details. Some of the bigger challenges that the Bharatiya Janata Party essentially faces in this election. One, former Chief Minister of Karnataka, B.S. Yediyurappa, is no longer contesting the elections, but he's part of the CEC. Having said that, whether at all B.S. Yediyurappa would be throwing his weight behind all the candidates is something that one will have to wait and watch. Questions essentially also being raised about whether at all BJP has been able to tackle the corruption issue in the state of Karnataka. That's exactly the point which is being dragged by the Congress. In fact, a few days ago, you've had the Congress party raising questions as to why exactly BJP has not been able to release the list of candidates. Let's go across to my colleague Harsha getting us the latest details. Harsha, all eyes would be on the fact that you have B.S. Yediyurappa, who's part of the CEC, taking some of the calls. But question here is that the Congress essentially saying that why exactly the delay in releasing the list of candidates on the part of the Bharatiya Janata Party? Is it because they're not being able to find the candidates? There are also speculations that a lot of sitting legislators may not get the ticket. What is it that you're picking up?
Shravan, as it was quoted that the CC will happen on Sunday only. It was earlier decided by the BJP. But about the probable candidates, because on one seat there were more than 5 to 6 candidates who wanted to contest from particular assembly constituency. There are many assembly constituencies. If we talk about Bangalore city constituencies or the Varuna or the Kola, the major constituencies there were several candidates on one particular seat, 6 to 7, because the district and the state-wise constituency surveys were done at the state level and the central center level as well. And there were candidates which were referred from RSS also, from parliamentary board as well, and by the co-in-charge who had done the surveys from their side as well. Therefore, the BJP list was taking a lot of time. And yesterday we saw that the core committee meeting took place at the residence of JP Nadda, where Nalin Katil, CT Ravi, BS Yedurappa, Bommai and Mansukh Mandavia, all the in charge of Karnataka, were present, and that 5 to 6 numbers at per seat were taken down to almost 3, because in this CEC meet almost 3 candidates at per seat will be discussed and the final list will be discussed, and we are expecting that this meeting will go for about 11 or 12 o'clock, because the major almost 200 plus candidates will be finalized today, and BJP will be releasing its first list tomorrow early in the morning, what we have been told, because Prime Minister Narendra Modi has already arrived, and we were told that at 6:30 p.m. the CC meet and the parliamentary board meeting will start. So shortly the meeting will begin, and it becomes very important also, Shravan, because their major seat, as Congress has already released the list of 166 candidates. JDS has released the list of 93 candidates. There are many small parties. If we talk about Karnataka Samiti, if we talk about Asauddin Owaisi's party, the smaller parties who are contesting in Karnataka, they have also released its list. So we are expecting that major constituencies will be covered in today's list by Bharatiya Janata Party. So BS Yedurappa, CM Bommai, Sarbananand Sonowal, the important parts of the CEC board are already here at the party headquarters. So the final which candidate will contest from which seat will be discussed with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, and the final call will be taken, because this time also what BJP is quoting is that they will win in Karnataka with more than 150 seats. This is what they are expecting. Right. But on the other side, Congress is very sure through their campaigning and everything that this time Karnataka Congress will come in power, but not the BJP government. On the other side, JDS, we are seeing that HD Kumaraswamy, being the front face of JDS, right, is very sure that this time they will not be the kingmaker, but they will be the king. So all eyes on BJP's list today. We are expecting more than 200 candidates will be finalized today, Shravan, in the CEC meet. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Harsha, for getting us the latest details. A story that we'll be closely tracking. Shifting focus now to that top story of the day. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, I beg your pardon, Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde is on his way to Ayodhya. Both the leaders offered prayers at Ram Temple and are going to offer Ganga Aarti at Saryu Ghat. But before that, let's listen to what Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde had to say about his Ayodhya visit, and also speaking about the Palghar violence. Important to point out here is that this comes at a time when there have been massive political developments taking place in his state. You've had the former Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, a lot of speculations essentially taking place, and not just that, also NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar has now come in defense of Gautam Adani, something that hasn't really gone down well with his alliance partner, the Vadra Congress. Listen to what Eknath Shinde had to say.
जय भवानी और जय श्री राम के नारे से आप वो फ्लाइट में लेके सारे विधायकों को प्रभु श्री राम के द्वारे पहुंचे हैं मुख्यमंत्री जी। लेकिन ये जो सपना था, ये सपना तो स्वर्गीय बाला साहब का था, राम मंदिर का। आपने कहा भी आज पत्रकार वार्ता में कि ये बाला साहब का सपना संपूर्ण हो रहा है।
हाँ बिल्कुल, ये हमारे हिंदू हृदय सम्राट बाला साहब ठाकरे जी की सपना था जी, और तमाम लाखों करोड़ों राम भक्तों का सपना था कि अयोध्या में भव्य दिव्य राम मंदिर बने। सबको सपना ही लग रहा था, सबको नहीं लग रहा था कि राम मंदिर बनेगा। लेकिन मैं इस देश के प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय मोदी जी को धन्यवाद दूंगा कि उन्होंने जो सपने जैसा लगने वाला कार्य राम मंदिर के रूप में खड़ा कर दिया है। जोर से राम मंदिर का निर्माण शुरू है, जल्द से मूर्ति स्थापना होगी और लाखों करोड़ों जो हमारे हिंदू भक्त, देशभक्त, राम भक्त है, उनको ये राम लल्ला का दर्शन करने का सौभाग्य मिलेगा। और ये हमारे लिए अयोध्या और राम मंदिर ये राजनीतिक मुद्दा नहीं है, ये हमारे लिए श्रद्धा और आस्था और हमारी भावना का प्रतीक है, और ये पूरी तरह हिंदुत्व की भावना का प्रतीक है। ये आस्था का प्रतीक है, राम मंदिर और अयोध्या।
जी एकनाथ शिंदे जी, कौन लोग हैं जिनको आपके अयोध्या दौरे से परेशानी हो रही है?
जो जिनको हिंदुत्व से एलर्जी है, जो जिनको हिंदुत्व से एलर्जी है, राम लल्ला से एलर्जी है, वही अनाप शनाप बातें कर रहे हैं। और यहाँ तो लाखों लोग आते हैं, राम लल्ला का दर्शन लेते हैं। जो अनाप शनाप बात करते हैं उनको राम भक्त जो है लाखों करोड़ों बराबर जवाब देंगे।
आपने एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात बोली एकनाथ शिंदे जी कि पूरे देश को कई लोगों को लगता था इस देश में कि रामलला का मंदिर बनेगा कि नहीं बनेगा, सपना है। मैं पूछता हूं आपको क्या लगता था, एकनाथ शिंदे को क्या लगता था कि क्या रामलला का इतना भव्य मंदिर,
रामलला का भव्य मंदिर बनेगा, ये आत्मविश्वास था। और ये विश्वास जो है हर एक सच्चे राम भक्त के दिल में था। और ये सच्चे राम भक्तों का लाखों करोड़ों दिल की जो भावना है, मन की भावना, इस देश के प्रधानमंत्री महोदय ने जानकर ही नंदमय मंदिर का निर्माण शुरू कर दिया है।
मेरा अगला सवाल मुख्यमंत्री महाराष्ट्र से नहीं लेकिन एक राम भक्त से है। शिंदे साहब, आप पहले भी रामलला के कई बार दर्शन कर चुके हैं, आपको क्या फर्क महसूस हुआ जब आज आप पहुंचे?
हाँ,
क्या फर्क महसूस हुआ? मैं राम भक्त से पूछ रहा हूं, मुख्यमंत्री महाराष्ट्र से नहीं। जी,
मैं मुख्यमंत्री के हैसियत से आया ही नहीं, मैं राम भक्त के हैसियत से आया हूँ यहाँ पर।
जी।
और मैं यहाँ, आप देखते हो कि आपके पत्रकार भी यहाँ पर होंगे, मेरे चलने में बोलने में कोई मुख्यमंत्री जैसे मैंने बर्ताव किया ही नहीं, क्यों मैं राम भक्त के हैसियत से आया हूँ, एक कार्यकर्ता के हैसियत से आया हूँ। और एक कार्यकर्ता के रूप में मैं रामलला का दर्शन लिया हूँ। ये रामलला जो है हमारे लिए बहुत ही श्रद्धा का विषय है। और इस बार तो धनुष्यबाण लेकर हम लोग आए हैं और यहाँ से हम रामलला से दर्शन लेकर ऊर्जा और प्रेरणा लेकर जाएंगे और महाराष्ट्र की जनता की एक समर्पित भावना से सेवा करेंगे। घर घर तक ये सब हमारे राज्य की जो निर्णय है, जो योजनाएं हैं, जो लाभ है, घर घर जनता के तक पहुंचाएंगे। क्योंकि रामलला का भी आपने काम देखा है, उन्होंने भी जनता की सेवा में पूरा जीवन समर्पित किया। उन्होंने तो एक झटके में राजगद्दी छोड़ दी और कुछ लोगों ने तो क्या कर दिया 2019 में आपने देखा है, सत्ता की गद्दी पाने के लिए हमारे विचारधारा को तोड़ दिया, बाला साहब ठाकरे जी के विचारधारा को तोड़ दिया, रामलला के मंदिर को विरोध करने वालों के साथ जुड़ गए, उनके गले में गला मिला रहे, कंधे से कंधा मिला रहे। ये दुर्भाग्य है, ये महाराष्ट्र देख रहा है, देश देख रहा है।
लेकिन एकनाथ शिंदे जी, आपने कहा कुछ लोगों को, मेरा यही सवाल था कि वो लोग तो कह रहे हैं कि आप स्वर्गीय बाला साहब के नाम लेकर रामलला और राम भक्त की तरह वहां जा रहे हैं। एक तो बर्दाश्त नहीं हो रहा है उन लोगों से कि आप एक मुख्यमंत्री की तरह नहीं, एक राम भक्त की तरह पहुंच गए हैं रामलला के द्वारे, उनसे बर्दाश्त नहीं हो रहा है। और वो ये कह रहे हैं कि आपने उनकी विरासत छीन ली।
ये उनको, हमारे को कोई भी प्रॉपर्टी, संपत्ति, एसेट बिल्कुल नहीं चाहिए। वो तो उन्हीं की है। हमको तो सिर्फ बाला साहब के विचार, यही हमारी संपत्ति है। बाला साहब ठाकरे जी की विचारधारा, यही हमारे लिए ऐश्वर्य है और एसेट भी है। इसलिए हम विचार को आगे ले जा रहे हैं। ये जो विरासत है बाला साहब ठाकरे जी की, वो विरासत को उन्होंने सिर्फ कुर्सी के लिए, सत्ता पाने के लिए किसके साथ जोड़ दिया। ये हमारा धनुष्यबाण तो उन्होंने किसके पास गिरवी रखा था, हमने तो उसको छुड़ाया है।
और आज छुड़ा के आप रामलला के द्वारे पहुंचे, लेकिन पार्टी भी आप
रामचंद्र जी का भी, प्रभु रामचंद्र जी का भी ऐसा ही सोचना था कि ये गलत हाथ में मेरा धनुष्यबाण ना पड़े, इसलिए हमारे को दिया है।
Well, let me also quickly bring in my colleague Shivangi, who's been reporting live from Ayodhya. Shivangi, what's the sense that you're picking up within the Shinde camp? This entire visit essentially coming at a time when we've seen a lot of political developments taking place in the state of Maharashtra. A lot of speculations are doing the round about which way the NCP would be going this time, given the fact that Ajit Pawar has made multiple statements. Any reflection really coming in from the Shinde camp?
Right. Well, Well, we have been, in fact, reporting live since morning, and before we speak about that, I just want our viewers to get a sense of where we are. So this is Ram Ki Peri right now. If I can ask my camera person to show you. So this is Ram Ki Peri, a very, very holy site. A short while from now, Shravan, the Maha Arati is going to take place. Now, we also got a chance to speak to Deepak K. Sarkar. We got a chance to speak to him and to ask him exactly about the kind of comments which have come, especially from Sharad Pawar, about the Adani issue, looking into the Adani issue. He said that he made a couple of statements which have rattled the opposition. So, you know, multiple details have come out from there. Now, in fact, from the Eknath Shinde camp, even Devendra Fadnavis has called the comments of Sharad Pawar extremely appalling. No one would expect that Sharad Pawar would speak. In fact, it looks like he's siding. He's siding with the BJP. It looks like he's siding with the other camp and not with the Uddhav camp. So like you were saying, very interesting developments coming here. But I would also like to point out that Eknath Shinde has made it very clear that his visit to Ayodhya is not a political one. This is a visit as a Ram devotee. Now, as we walk across the streets of Ayodhya, and this is Saryu River. Very soon, in just a short while's time, around 15 minutes from now, approximately, we will see that on the other side, the Maha Arati will take place. And Eknath Shinde has spoken exclusively to Republic TV's Aishwarya Kapoor, where he also made this couple of points. He had spoken about the legacy of Bala Saheb Thackeray. He says he doesn't want any property or anything of that sort. For him, his ideology is what matters. And what's very interesting to see is that the amount of people who have come from Maharashtra, Shiv Sainiks coming out in large numbers to give a grand welcome to Maharashtra CM. They have said that Maharashtra CM should continue his work, and that also shows the kind of leadership position that he enjoys right now, because he has been, of course, seen as a tall leader. That is why he did become the CM of Maharashtra. But right now we can see the kind of support, coming in all the way from Maharashtra to Uttar Pradesh. So many people, Shiv Sainis coming and traveling. Remember that he flagged off a train. Eknath Shinde flagged off a train from Thane to Ayodhya. So that really shows the kind of position that Eknath Shinde holds, the kind of love people have for him across states, not just in Maharashtra, but we're seeing across states. And my camera person is showing you all the visuals of the flags, of Shiv Sena flags that are put up. We have seen you can see Shiv Seniks as well. So many of them on the streets of Maharashtra. I would like to Ayodhya. I would like to speak to them right now. आप यहाँ पर आए हैं और आप यहाँ पे आए हैं, ये बोलिए कि आप कहाँ से आए हैं? महाराष्ट्र से आएंगे? बहुत सारे शिव सैनिक आए हैं महाराष्ट्र से।
महाराष्ट्र थाना से आए हम लोग।
अच्छा, थाने से आए। एक स्पेशल ट्रेन आया था थाने टू, आप वो स्पेशल ट्रेन से आए हैं जो एकनाथ शिंदे ने जो फ्लैग ऑफ किया था?
Yes, yes.
अच्छा, all right. So these have Shiv Sena coming especially from Thane. Shravan, like we were telling you, I'm just coming back to you right now. We are still waiting for that Maha Arati to take place. It will take place in a short while. It's an electric atmosphere truly here in Ayodhya.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Shivangi, for getting us the latest details. So we'll come back to you once the Aarti begins. Full coverage only on Republic TV. We're getting in some breaking news right now. First pictures of Prime Minister visiting Sacred Heart Cathedral Church. That's the visual on your screen of the Prime Minister's meeting that took place at Sacred Heart Cathedral Church. In fact, the Prime Minister thereafter went to the BJP headquarters for the CEC meeting. These are the latest visuals now coming in. We'll try and go across to our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor for the latest to put this into perspective about the visit that the Prime Minister had at Sacred Cathedral Church. The meeting took place in the national capital earlier in the day. These are the latest images now coming in of the visit that took place. The Prime Minister staying there for about a couple of minutes, interacting with the people in the church. These are the latest images now coming in. Significant given the fact that the Prime Minister has always made this point very clear that as far as his government is concerned, it has always been about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Remember, the Prime Minister essentially has been targeted by the opposition leaders time and again about the fact that there hasn't been any outreach when it comes to the minorities in the country. Something that has been outrightly rejected on various occasions by the Prime Minister, saying that this was basically a malicious attempt to tarnish the image of him as well as his government. This entire visit assumes a great significance with the Prime Minister visiting the church in the national capital. We'll try and go across to our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor for the latest. And just to put this into perspective, what does this essentially mean? Joining us on the broadcast, Abhishek, just put this into perspective. When the Prime Minister has always spoken about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and he's always basically dismissed the kind of opposition that he's faced, especially given the fact about how the government has dealt with the minorities. But this image perhaps assumes a lot of significance.
Absolutely, Shravan, and this is part of an outreach which Prime Minister has been underscoring for his party leaders to pick up. So, like, I would remember just last week when Prime Minister spoke at the Foundation Day event of the BJP in Parliament, he asked about how the leaders can, or instructed rather, that they should make an outreach to minorities, because unlike what the perception is about the BJP as a majoritarian party, the minorities, Dalits, are standing with the party now, as can be seen from various election results. So then the Prime Minister spoke about the same outreach and specifically named Pasmanda Muslims, for example, and the Christian minorities during the BJP National Executive, which took place in the month of February in Delhi. And then again, at the same National Executive, which happened 3 months before that in Hyderabad, Prime Minister, that was the first time, in fact, Prime Minister very openly said that the BJP should be making an outreach to the minority communities and assuage their concerns and make sure that BJP is seen as natural party of governance and improves its acceptability among the minorities with this outreach. In fact, subsequently we saw events taking place, for example, in Bareilly and in Deoband, and we have seen for example, 4 MLCs now belonging to the minority community, specifically the Muslims, in UP legislature, in the Legislative Council. In fact, similarly, other outreach having been made. So this seems to be part of that. Prime Minister speaks often about making sure that the minorities are taken care of. In this case, we are seeing on Easter Sunday, he has visited the church, the Archdiocese in Delhi, and we have seen him doing so in the case of Bohras in Mumbai just last month, where he said among the Bohras he feels as if he's at home because of the Gujarati connect with the Dawoodi Bohra Muslim community. And in this case, he has, and remember, he has a packed last 24 hours. He was in Karnataka, back-to-back events, and we saw his pictures in Karnataka earlier in the day, and now he has flown down and is straight to the church where he has participated in the Sunday Mass, and you can see him sitting on the chair along with the priests and participating in the prayers. So I think clear case of Prime Minister practicing what he preaches to his own leaders first, and they say that in the Amrit Kal, everyone looks up to the BJP and it's India's best era coming, and everyone should be taken along, which
यहाँ पर चर्च पे आए, उन्होंने प्रेयर मीटिंग में भी हिस्सा लिया, आप लोगों से भी मुलाकात की, कैसा फील कर रहे हैं सर, और क्या कहेंगे इस मौके पर?
तो बहुत खुशी का मौका रहा, क्योंकि पहली बार प्राइम मिनिस्टर आ रहे हैं, मोदी जी पहली बार आ रहे हैं, और मेरे ख्याल में इतिहास में भी कोई एक प्राइम मिनिस्टर पहली बार इस चर्च में कदम रख रहे हैं, तो इसलिए मुझे अच्छा लगा। और विशेष करके मोदी जी आए, 9 साल तक नहीं आ पाए, लेकिन इस बार तो आ गए हैं, तो इसलिए, और ईस्टर के दिन जब हम प्रभु यीशु ख्रिस्त का पुनरुत्थान मना रहे हैं, तो इस दिन आए तो बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि जब प्राइम मिनिस्टर, वैसे तो और भी मिनिस्टर भी आते हैं और बहुत बड़े लोग आते हैं, लेकिन हमारे देश के प्राइम मिनिस्टर पहुंचे तो बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है, क्योंकि वही है लीडर हमारे, और ये खुशी का मौका रहा हमको।
सर, क्या कुछ बातचीत हुई और क्या कुछ उनका?
बातचीत नहीं हुआ, ज़्यादा बातचीत नहीं हुई, नहीं, बातचीत के लिए नहीं आए, प्राइम मिनिस्टर सिर्फ प्रार्थना में भाग लेने के लिए आए, और हमारे बच्चों ने 3 अच्छे गाने गाए, जिसको हम हिम्स कहते हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर में हाथ जोड़ के उसमें भाग लिया, और मोमबत्ती जलाई पहले प्रभु यीशु ख्रिस्त की प्रतिमा है, पुनर्जीवित प्रभु यीशु ख्रिस्त उसके सामने, और बैठे जब तक कि ये तीनों गीत जो हमारे बच्चे गा रहे थे खत्म ना हुए, तब तक बैठे रहे हाथ जोड़ के। और जब हमने बताया कि अभी खत्म हो गया तब उठे, और प्राइम मिनिस्टर को हमने एक छोटा सा एक गिफ्ट भी दिया, मेमेंटो, प्रभु यीशु ख्रिस्त का एक फ्रेम दिया। और उसके बाद 2 फोटोज रहे, फोटोग्राफ्स, और उसके बाद आए यहाँ पे और वो पौधा लगाया वहाँ पे। हाँ, उसमें सुझाव दिया कि कैसे उस पौधे को हम ड्रिप इरिगेशन करके पानी को बचा सकते हैं, और कैसे ये पौधे फूलेगा, ये बढ़ जाएगा, कैसे पनपनेगा, ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर हमको बताया। मुझे नहीं पता था, ये अच्छा सुझाव है, तो इसको जरूर इस्तेमाल करेंगे हम। थैंक यू।
Well, that first pictures of Prime Minister at Sacred Cathedral Church in the national capital. You've heard the reactions now coming in. Undoubtedly, as the Prime Minister has been emphasizing that as a party, he's been urging all the members of the party for a massive outreach to reach out to all communities about the development work that has essentially been done by his government, which has been targeting all other communities. That's all that we've heard on this story. We'll get you the latest stuff on the other side. Also getting out on the exclusive news pick, Republic has now accessed photos of 2 Pakistani terrorists who have been arrested in Punch during an infiltration bid. Now, these infiltrators were caught with huge quantity of narcotics on your screens. The thermal imaging of the attempt that has essentially been made by the terrorists to try and cross over, and on the other side you have the recovery that has essentially been made from the possession of these terrorists, which also includes large amount of narcotics that has been recovered. Let me quickly go across to my colleague Gursimran getting us the latest details. Gursimran, yet another bid now being made by the terrorists to try and cross over, but it has been foiled successfully by our forces, and this time the surprising bit is the amount of narcotics that they were basically carrying along with them. It appears to be a little bit unusual, because all this while we haven't seen this kind of narcotics being tried to smuggle.
Yes, Shobhan, this is unusual as per what Pakistan is doing, that they are pushing the narcotics with the unarmed terrorist and weapons via drone. We have seen a drone infiltration drone bid that was filed by the Jammu and Kashmir police couple of days back in the Vijaypur, and now coming to this one, the 2 terrorists have been apprehended alive, and now their investigation is going on. One has been neutralized by the Indian Army, and this clearly shows that as we are heading towards the summer and the snow is melting in the upper reaches, Pakistan is desperately trying to put their focus so as to push men and narcotics into the Indian territory, so that the proceed of sale of narcotics can be used for the terror financing. We know what the economic situation of the Pakistan is. They cannot afford to send money, and that's why they are sending the narcotics into the Indian territory and weapons via drone on the international border. We have seen ID attack taking place in the Kathua district. That was on the 29th of last month, followed by the 3rd April recovery, and now today this kind of infiltration attempt, a major infiltration attempt that has been foiled by the Indian Army. This shows that Pakistan is trying to foment trouble in the Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and especially keeping in view the G20 meeting that is all set to schedule to take place in Kashmir Valley next month. Pakistan is making every possible attempt to destabilize Jammu and Kashmir, but the forces are on the alert, and we saw that MHA team was in the Kashmir Valley, wherein a high-level meeting was chaired by the MHA officials, in which a threadbare discussion took place on how to maintain the security grid so as to foil any nefarious attempt of the enemy ahead of the Amarnath Yatra and the G20 meeting. Shavan.
Right. Thank you very much, Gursimran, for getting us the latest details.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
Amity faculty have filed over 1800 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been ranked among the top for innovation achievements.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज। Dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can go about saying, hey, I've come to inspect you without the system approving it.
आपने 3 गोल्ड जीते, आपने वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट करा,
जब
पोडियम पे नंबर 1 स्पॉट में खड़ी
हूँ
और नेशनल एंथम ही नहीं है।
नेशनल एंथम नहीं है हमारे पास। मैनेजर्स, कोचेस जो थे उनको कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं था कि भाई हमारा कोई गोल्ड आ सकता है, हमारा नेशनल एंथम भी बज सकता है। मैंने वहाँ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड भी क्रिएट किया और 3 गोल्ड मेडल भी जीते। नेशनल एंथम नहीं थी हमारी।
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
Very good evening, friends. This Sunday evening, let's begin with the 6:30 p.m. live and breaking with the headlines.
मुझे तो विश्वास था कि एक दिन राम लल्ला का भव्य मंदिर बनेगा, ये आत्मविश्वास था।
Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and his Sena in Ayodhya. Exclusive interview with the newsmaker on Republic.
के हैसियत से आया ही नहीं, मैं राम भक्त के हैसियत से आया हूँ यहाँ पर। मेरे चलने में, बोलने में कोई मुख्यमंत्री जैसे मैंने बर्ताव किया ही नहीं, क्योंकि मैं राम भक्त के हैसियत से आया हूँ।
Shinde tells Republic have not come as a politician but as a Ram